What's up, Everyday Blaze? Man, this review has been a long time coming. So, today we're looking at the Custom Knife Factory Rampage. So I first saw this knife, I don't know, a couple of months ago in the groups, and I just, there's those knives that the second you see them, you just know you're gonna like them. You want it. It was like that with the CKF Evo 2.0 and the Evo 1, the Grimsmo Rask. I mean, they're just knives. When I saw them, I knew I was going to like those knives. This is definitely one of those knives. It's beautiful. I want to talk about a little bit about presentation and customer service and being appreciative of your customers. And there's a company out there, and by no means are they a sponsor of this channel or my groups or anything. I don't even know them, but I've just done business with them, and it's been a pleasure. NC Blade. They sell, I think they're the majority seller for CKF, if not the only American seller. So this is what you get when you buy a CKF knife. And this is not all. One thing that never makes it into my videos is the candy, because they send you a pack of the best candy on the planet. That's usually eaten within the first hour of me getting it. Handwritten note, business card thanking you, telling you they appreciate their customers. Along with a little joke written on there. Sticker, I probably have 10 of these stickers. I didn't buy this from NC Blade. The original owner bought it. It was still new in the box, and I purchased it from him. Just great customer service, good people. They're active in the CKF groups and the NC Blade. They have their own group, and they're active in there. And I just want to give them a shout out and let them know that we appreciate them. So, a couple other things. Here's something new. I haven't seen this in any of they actually sent NC Blade lip gloss, or not lip gloss, chapstick. So it said, may your lips be as smooth as your knife. Use for when your knife isn't the only thing getting action. I thought that was cool, man. Super cool. Good people all the way around. Of course, the knife always comes with an extra full set of hardware. Every knife company should do that. I don't care who they are. I mean, what does that cost you? And how many warranty trips will that save you? But, you know, neither here nor there. CKF sticker, NC Blade sticker, an ID card that's actually, you know, like a credit card. It's not just a piece of paper. It's something that'll be around, you know, 100 years from now. This is a limited edition. There was only 200 pieces released. The options on the handles are tie, Zerk tie, and Zerk. The blade steels are M390 or Damascus. Designer Eugene Mediviv. I don't want to mess his name up. But anyway, there you go. You can stop that and look at that if you like. Okay, let's get to the knife. Oh, and this awesome pouch. Of course, everybody knows the CKF pouches. So let's get this stuff out of the way and let's get down to business. We'll leave the ID card over here. Just a beautiful, beautiful piece. I mean, these guys know how to build knives. They build beautiful, great functioning knives. They're just not afraid to spend the extra time to get it right. The centering's always perfect. They're a Russian company based out of Russia. I don't know who builds their knives. I've heard it's outsourced. I don't care where these knives are made. Whoever's doing it does a killer job. I did the disassembly video first because I wanted to see the inside of this. The inside of the scales, let me get a flashlight. That one right here, Summers. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, got one right here. The inside of the scales, I don't know if you can see this, but see how much milling is in there? Let's flip it over this way and try this. Here we go. See all that milling? There's also a big CKS milled in here. the inside of the knife is almost as nice as the outside of the knife. Zerk tie pocket clip, Zerk tie pivot collars, both sides, Zerk tie thumb stud ring. Really super cool skull thumb stud. I believe it's Zerk. Have not seen anything like that. Every thumb stud is plain as plain gets. Some of them work pretty good. Some of them don't work very good at all. Like Chris Reeves knives, I don't care for their thumb studs. I think they're terrible. They have all the standard stuff, the lock bar insert, the over travel stop. There's a huge lanyard loop in here, but I think it's just mainly part of the design of the knife. It's not necessarily functional. It works great as a lanyard hole, but it's part of the looks of the knife, and it's all Zerk. They like to use a lot of exotic materials, and I appreciate that. So another reason I did the disassembly videos, because I needed to service this thing. It needed, the detemp ball was dragging a little bit. It was dry. You know, if a knife ever feels gritty, that's the first thing you check is that detemp ball. Right down in there on the tip here, you'll see a ball down in there. And if you'll just take the tip of your oil and just get it wet and just barely touch that ball, it'll fix that problem. But I went ahead and, you know, took most of the grease out of the bearings and oiled it up, and the action is nothing but butter. This knife is super, super light. They milled out the scales extensively. Only complaint I'd have on this knife, and it's not a huge deal, is they used really, really small screws here for the body screws. I wish they would have bumped that up to at least a T8. Those screws strip out really easily, and those screws go all the way through here and they thread into the titanium. I'm not a big fan of that. That can cause problems down the road, but most of the time it won't. It'll be just fine. But other than that, they did a killer job on the knife. Let's look at some specs. We are about 3 1/4 on the blade, about 4 3/8 on the handle scales, 7 1/2 overall. All right, this is the, let's put up against a couple other knives. This is the, a lot of guys that collect these collect Shirogorov. So here's the Shirogorov Neon Zero. And then I'll put it up against some regular everyday knives that everybody knows. This is the Spyderco PM2. And we'll do one more for giggles. Benchmade Bug Out. So you can see it's really close to the size of Benchmade Bug Out. Just maybe not even a hair longer. It's like identical size. It's just a little more robust in the middle, but just like the Bug Out, it's light. It's not as light as the Bug Out. I mean, I don't think anything is, but for a solid titanium knife, it's super, super light, and it just feels good in hand. I think it's a great knife. I think, you know, once the prices are breaking $1,000, I think it's getting out of hand. It's not a $1,200 knife. The table price was about right. I think about $690. I think that was, you know, that's a good price. It's maybe a hair high, maybe not. I don't know, but I think over $1,000, I think it's too much. I'm hoping some of it will come down, but with only 200 of them, I doubt it. It'll probably just keep going up. But this knife is not only a beautiful knife, it functions very well. Like I said, I don't know if the previous owner flipped this thumb stud around or not, but it works perfect for me. I don't have any issues with it. I mean, I've never had a misfire with it, or I mean, it just works great. And the action, it's the same bearings that are in all the other CKF knives out there. Killer bearings. I mean, they're caged or non-caged, they work great. So there it is, guys. The CKF Rampage. I'm impressed with it as I am with all my other knives. This is the only other CKF knife I currently have, the Sokasha, and I love this knife. I don't know if I had to choose between these two, if this one would unthrone this one. I don't think that it would. This is my favorite CKF knife of all time. And that's why it stayed in my collection and the other ones aren't here. So anyway, this one for now is going to be here. I like it. I'm going to keep it at least for a while. Who knows? Guys, thanks for watching. God bless you and your families. Say a prayer for our country. Good night.